Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of the Midnight Toons. Of course, I'm your host, PK Speed, you know, the one and only. I swear to God, there's only one, and that's me. And of course, we have my co-host, Faye, you know, who's here every time.
Yeah.
But, you know, just another day, I was gonna say another dollar, but you don't really get money from this, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you know, this week's been pretty alright, honestly. There's not really too much news this week, both in animation and in general. The biggest thing that happened were, like, the VGA Awards and some new stuff. Some new stuff got announced and all that. But, you know, how's your day, Faye?
I've had an alright day.
That's good. What the hell? Sorry, I just... Sorry,
I just... What?
Sorry, I just heard a random dog outside my window. Sorry, continue.
Oh, nah, I haven't really been doing much. I've been playing a little bit of, I think it's like, it's some like Korean battle royale game. Hold on. Eternal Return Black Survival.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a MOBA mixed with a battle royale mixed with a survival crafting game.
That sounds pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, when you said like Korean battle royale, for some reason the first game off the top of my head was Genshin Impact, but that's not battle royale.
It could be if you try hard enough.
One day, you know,
Yeah.
if they make enough money, probably.
Maybe.
If they haven't already. But yeah. I haven't really done too much. I did most of the same stuff that I mentioned last week. I'm still playing through DMC4 because that game's fantastic and I want to beat it on every difficulty because that's what you do in a Devil May Cry game. They're the games where you're not supposed to just beat it in once and then leave it forever. That, and also I want to do Bloody Palace because I've never finished Bloody Palace. Because fuck me, doing 101 floors of enemies is fucking tiring and also really hard. But you know, I'm still going through that. I right now, during me working throughout everything, I'm still listening to the Adventure Zone, which is I want to make a correction from the last episode. I said that the people who made it were the McElroy family. Apparently it's McConroy, and I'm a fucking idiot, of course, as usual. But yeah, no, I've been enjoying that a lot, and I think a lot of the later of their balance arc is really fantastic. I cannot suggest high enough that people go check out this podcast. It's on Spotify and all that, so you can go check it out there. As for anything else, not really much, except for today, where I live, it's snowing, and that's great. Especially great when you have to walk through the snow twice a day to get from work and back. It's great. I love it. Did you love where you're freezing your fucking ass off? It's great. Ugh.
I've been inside. So.
Yeah, I know. I wish I was inside, but...
And I have a car, so I can't relate.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Listen. I tried, but part of me is, one, I don't know if I want to go to DMV right now with the pandemic.
Yeah.
And two, it's just like simply just bad timing, and I don't really have a clear way to get there. At least I didn't used to till now, but whatever. But yeah, you know, other than that, not too much. It's fucking cold here. You know, it's winter, as to be expected. And along with that, it's almost my birthday. It's gonna be this Thursday on the 17th.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I can't wait to get something. I don't know.
Oh, you know, you get older. How old are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be 22.
Oh, I'm old.
Nah, it's fine. Don't worry.
That's fine.
It's fine. It just, you know, it's the number that keeps raising to our inevitable death. But you know, it's fun.
Yeah, it's not like I'll be 24 this year or anything.
Oh, I thought you were only a year older than me, huh? That's weird.
Am I 22 or am I 23? I forget. I could do the math, but it's not worth it.
That's, you know, that's fair. But aside from that, I actually I do have something else I can mention. In the last episode of the podcast, I mentioned that my good friend Raven Ravioko over on his social media was going to do a 24-hour shiny hunting stream, and to my surprise, he actually did a fucking 24-hour Pokemon shiny hunting stream.
Yeah, how'd
Yeah.
that go?
It was pretty alright. His what he was going for both shiny Kyogre and Lugia. Not Lugia, oh my god. Fucking Ho-Oh. And he eventually got Kyogre around, I wanna say around 4,000 resets. It's not the highest one he's done. I think the highest one is still his shiny Kyogre, which was like 37,000 or something. I may be messing up the numbers, but you know, whatevs. But I was surprised because he has tried to do this before, but he only lasted like 7 hours. And then this time, no, he actually managed to do it. He did spend the middle of the 24 hours where like no one was around to watch all the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, just because he loves those movies goddamn much, so much. Sorry, I don't know. But yeah, you know, he managed to do it. You know, I gave him a couple bits and all that because I was, you know, staying up the 24 hours to do shiny hunting is an achievement of itself. It's way more than I'll probably ever do. But you know, the funny part was afterwards because I'm in his Discord and he was just like, man. Like because he streamed it on the 7th to the 8th, and he was like, the 8th didn't just like I can't even remember the 8th, and someone replied was, it's because you didn't wake up to the 8th, so it just doesn't exist for you. And he's like, damn.
The 8th was the midnight hour.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, that's cool. Major congrats to him. You know, it's great. It's great seeing like one of my friends do content, and I'm just like, yeah, you bet I'm going to support that shit. You know, I like seeing my friends succeed.
Yeah, you've been at most of my streams.
Yeah, because you're cool.
I guess.
Nah, you're great.
But I haven't really been doing anything this week. I've been playing I played a bit of TFT. It's okay right now. TFT. I played Teamfight Tactics.
Oh, okay.
And then I've been playing a niche like collaborative role-playing game. I don't really like to say what specific games I'm playing when I'm doing these, because if I say it like on Twitter, like, oh, I'm playing this Beyond game, and then like people, I don't know, I like keeping my social media and my RP separate.
Oh, that's fine. That's totally reasonable.
Unless it's tabletop. I want to do more tabletop. That's the thing that's been on my mind lately.
Yeah, same. I'm doing a campaign with Josh Glasses Josh from school. Yeah. Because it's his first time DMing, and you know I'm doing that you know on the voice chat with him a little bit. That's fun. But like I don't know. I've been in a very D&D mood. It's me listening to like I think I'm 50 episodes into the podcast I mentioned earlier. I don't know. It's just been on my mind a lot. It doesn't help that I'm trying to set up another campaign as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is something about D&D.
We should talk off podcast about getting a campaign together. I'd like to play.
Yeah, totally. I'm up for any game, honestly.
So what piece of news are we gonna tackle first? Because like, I mean, we got a couple big pieces of news, but like we only really have 4 pieces of news. Yeah, that's fair. You know, we'll blow through one of the shorter ones real quick, and that is because this is probably the least one that really most people care, except for weirdos like me. But Netflix is making a new Sonic the Hedgehog series for 2022, and that's interesting. I'm in. I don't know how to really react. I don't know if this is gonna be good or not because Sonic cartoons they're kind of mixed depending. Well, see, I was interested because the 2D Sonic cartoons are pretty cool. Yeah. I grew up on 4Kids, you know, like the Sonic on 4Kids was something. I enjoyed it. And then I looked past the headline and saw that it's 3D animated, and I'm good. You can keep it.
To be fair, the Sonic Boom cartoon was actually pretty good, but that's more of like it's more comedy if anything, and I would say you would only really like that if you were like a Sonic fan. And also, it's not like visually impressive. It's just like, hey, you're here for the writing.
Well, like they had a movie recently, and like
yeah, I actually saw that in theaters.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't a fucking masterpiece or anything, but it was fine for what is basically just a kids movie.
It's a Sonic movie. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. What made me interested about this announcement was they said that the people working for it, the people working on it is a Man of Action, which for people who don't know, those are the same. That's the same company that made Ben 10 and some of their other stuff like Generator X and the 2010 Avengers show. I think they work on one Marvel show on Disney. I think it's like Ultimate Spider-Man. I could be wrong, but whatever. And I don't know, I think that could be alright. I like Man of Action. I like the original stuff though, not really the licensed stuff too much.
I don't know anything about it, so like I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'd say their quality varies. Sometimes they make some pretty like solid shows, and other times they're like, I forgot that even existed. Either way, it's Sonic. People are going to watch it because Sonic is basically Legion. Sonic fans are Legion. No matter the good or the bad.
AT&T, right?
Yeah.
This is news that I wanted to talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
AT&T's to sell Crunchyroll to Sony's Funimation for 1.1 billion. It's a bit closer to 1.2 if you're rounding.
Yeah.
But I didn't know AT&T owned Crunchyroll.
Oh, yeah. I only learned that out like the week prior because this was rumored for a little bit, but then it was official. And I was like, what the fuck? AT&T owns Crunchyroll? I did not know that.
So, like, Warner Media is, like Warner Bros?
Yeah, of course.
Is owned by AT&T.
Yeah.
And HBO is owned by AT&T.
Yeah.
I didn't know all that.
Yeah.
Well, I did know that to a certain degree, but I didn't know it was AT&T themselves. So there's a lot of these like monopolies, especially in like media.
Yeah.
Like especially when it comes to like animation and fictional media, there's a lot of these like sort of monopolies on like streaming markets and I feel like Crunchyroll being sold to Sony Pictures is I don't know, man, because they own Funimation, right?
Yeah.
So like,
which
what
I
other?
Didn't know for some reason, surprisingly.
Well, I knew that, but
I forgot,
what other U.S. companies have anime streaming platforms? Because if there's only two and they merge them, they might get hit with a monopoly lawsuit from the country.
Quite possibly. I can't think of like too many U.S. companies like owning anime properties. Like I know Disney owns Studio Ghibli, but they make like a movie. They make like a fucking movie every other blue moon, which is like fucking years gaps sometimes. But aside from that, I can't really think too much aside from like maybe like streaming originals, like Netflix originals, or I was gonna say Hulu anime originals, but I don't think that's a thing. So.
Well, and I think Hulu is owned by Yahoo or something, right?
I did not know that, actually.
No, Hulu's owned by Disney.
Wait, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's...
So that just proves my point even more, you know.
Oh,
so
God damn it.
There's like so many monopolies in media. I have a feeling... I don't know. I don't think U.S. lawmakers really give a shit about anime, but if they did, perhaps we would see a monopoly bust lawsuit against Sony Pictures for trying to put a monopoly on Japanese animation in America.
Mm-hmm. This one was what caught me off guard was, of course, like AT&T owning Crunchyroll, but there were a lot of people who were like, that's kind of I don't know. But then I don't really have too much because I don't really use Crunchyroll that much anymore. If I'm gonna be honest. But they're gonna be getting fucking like I don't even know how much anime is on Crunchyroll. I just assume that it's almost an infinite.
Well, like, so Funimation has a ton of content already on their site, and so when you merge Crunchyroll and Funimation, it's gonna be like
it's gonna be
it's literally like if you want Japanese anime, you go to Crunchyroll because like Funimation is like they have have content on there, but the content is sometimes a little dated or it's only like major releases. Whereas Crunchyroll has a program where it's like anime programs go on air on Crunchyroll as soon as like an hour they air in Japan.
That's right. They immediately just air it afterwards. So.
Yeah, so like that brings a lot of seasonal anime through Crunchyroll, whereas like Funimation is usually more focused on like having the classics and like their big releases there.
The big series that everyone is talking about.
So when you merge that together, it kind of just makes it to where there's like one platform for anime in the US.
Because I know Funimation does that with some animes. Like the one I can think of immediately was Kaguya Love is War, where that I believe that was on Crunchyroll and like on other stuff where it has anime, but then it got bought up by Funimation over here in the US, and you can only view it on their official thing now. I know this particularly because Austin was like, no, because he fucking loves that series. But yeah, no, they gotta get the anime monopoly, you know?
Well, yeah, and because of the fact that like Crunchyroll branches out more than just like major releases and their own publishing. They have more than 1,000 titles, whereas like Funimation has like over 700. And so like
they're gonna have so much.
Yeah, it's a lot of anime. And like I can't think of any other platform that has like recent anime releases at a like relatively quick pace. Like if you like look at Netflix, you have like popular releases that are occasionally put on there, and a lot of times the Netflix releases aren't finished. They don't get all the stuff on there. They don't get all the rights. And the same thing happens with Hulu often, where they don't get all the rights for the anime and you have to go find it elsewhere. Crunchyroll doesn't really have that problem as often, and neither does Funimation, because they just get it.
Like I remember when we were watching Bleach, I don't think it has any of the later seasons. Like I think it's like I think it's beginning of Waco Mundo. I think they only have, or
I'm not sure, but they don't have all of it. I know that.
Yeah, I know they don't have all of Sonic X, which because I only like the last season of that show, so I was looking for it, and they only had like every other season aside from that. I'm like, what the fuck? I just assumed it was like a weird licensing thing of like maybe they can't use it or something. But yeah, no, you know, like Funimation and Crunchyroll coming together. It's going to be, well, not coming together, but they're going to be owned by the same company, but still.
What I want to know is, why the fuck does Disney Plus exist and Hulu exist when they could just put Disney Plus on Hulu?
Because they can make more money.
It's just like, it doesn't make any sense why they have all these subsidiaries.
I'm too dumb to know, but I assume it's because they can make even more money.
Something more money, something more tax breaks, something, I don't know, lobbying power.
I don't know, yeah.
Lower wages. I don't know. There's probably all
know.
Sorts of stupid reasons.
Yeah.
Speaking of the terrifying animation conglomerate that is Disney.
Yeah. Disney recently had like an investor day, and they've presented a lot of shit, and some of this stuff has been told of what they're going to be releasing. That they're not gonna go the HBO route, and they're just like, hey, here's all the fucking things we're making for next year or some shit. They're just like you know, what some projects that we got in the looks. But you know, they've announced a couple films, series, all that, both of regular Disney, Pixar, and some of Marvel and stuff. Oh, and Star Wars, of course.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, there's still a part of me that kind of forgets that Star Wars is owned by Disney for some reason. I don't know why.
I never forget.
That's fair. But, yeah, some of the, we'll go down to some of the notable ones that they've announced, like their Disney's next film, fucking Raya and the Last Dragon, which I only saw a little bit of the trailer, if I'm gonna be honest. It just looks like, looks pretty good. I can't really say much because I'm like,
there's so much here that it's like, I don't know. It's like, because a lot of these titles they aren't going to be out to like 2022, 2021, and so it's like there's no point in like me like getting into the nitty gritty now when we're going to end up talking about it again if this podcast is still going.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like
don't jinx it, please.
Yeah. So there's no point getting into it now. I guess I could lay out like expectations I have for the films, but I don't have a whole lot of expectations for 3D animated films. It's not really like my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think there's a few stuff here. There's a few things here that I am particularly interested. When it comes to some of the films they're releasing, there's not really much here. Like there's going to be that Raya and the Last Dragon, which I don't know really anything about. That looks pretty cool. They have some movie called Enchanto, which I can't literally say anything about because it's just the title screen for the teaser they have, so I don't even. They have this one movie called Turning Red, which is apparently a movie. It's directed by, I forget her name, but she directed this short film that appeared at the beginning of Incredibles 2 called Bow. It's really nice. It's a really nice little short. It's probably like the better ones. I really enjoy it. And she's also going to be the first, I think, woman director over at Pixar, who's
the first solo.
Yeah. And it's the movie's apparently about a girl who turns into a red panda, which I can get behind because red pandas are blessed by God themselves to be the cutest animal ever. So I can get behind that.
That's debatable, but okay.
They're one of them because I know
I feel very strongly about foxes.
That's fair. That's completely that's just justifiable. They're gonna make a Buzz Lightyear origin story, which I don't really think you need because we have Buzz Lightyear Star Command. Done, easy.
I don't know anything about Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear Star Command was an original series where it just takes place from whatever he's from. It was pretty cool. That's all I can really say.
Wait, is that where the little? Never mind. I don't. I'm having flashbacks to my youth. I don't want this to happen.
It's fine. Don't worry. They're gonna release a new compilation of short films, which that's no surprise. There's a few other ones that they don't really have much of. Apparently, they acquired Night at the Museum at some point. Who cares? And also, there's going to be an animated Diary of the Wimpy Kid series on Disney+.
Okay, this is what I'm interested in. Everything else can be put aside. The Pixar popcorn is interesting. The Lightyear movie is interesting.
Yeah.
But the Pixar popcorn's coming in January 2021. It's not that far away. It could be an interesting thing with established Pixar characters. I like short films. They're cutesy. They're nice. Easy. You just take it and enjoy it. You don't have to sit there and watch 50 episodes so that you can get any amount of enjoyment out of a series. You can just sit down for an hour.
Yeah, it's just you can watch how much as you want. It's like an anthology series where you don't need
Lightyear.
Yeah.
However, isn't coming to like June 17th, 2022. So let's not even talk about it. It's not
yeah, you're right. I didn't even.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about earlier. A lot of this stuff, it's not coming out anytime soon. Yeah. So it's really no point in talking about it. That's why they're talking to investors about it, because they're trying to sell it to them.
Yeah.
I don't have enough money to buy Disney stock.
I'm usually just like I only want to really look into some of the stuff that like actually at least have a fucking trailer. Which there's one.
No, I know.
Well, there's one here, which, of course, they're going to make another live-action remake. It's going to be Pinocchio. I'm so excited.
Oh, no. I couldn't be less excited.
Yeah, no. I can't, like... The Disney live-action movies just, like... My problem with them is, like, even if they turn out to be good, which in most cases they don't, Like, why would I watch that? When I think of like something like Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast, what's the first thing that most people are going to think of? They're going to think either they're going to think of the live action movie that came out, I don't know, just like a year or two ago, or they're going to think about the original classic that is like an animation milestone in general.
Neither. They're gonna think about the musicals that come from it. They're gonna think about all the musical numbers, and so it's like it really doesn't matter what medium they're in. But at the same time, like the animation, the part of the reason why animation is really good for Disney movies is because musical numbers don't feel as awkward in the animated medium. You can have a more whimsical experience with a animated medium than you can with live action. It just feels so weird and uncanny for a live action person to break off into a musical number. I don't know. I was never really a fan of High School Musical myself.
I love High School Musical. Not legitimately, just because it's so fucking weird. Because the entire movie is just, no, you can't be in this play, dude. You're on the football team. That's weird. and the girl is just like, I want to do the play too. And all her friends are like, no, you gotta do science. I'm like, what the fuck? People can do more than one thing. It's weird.
I'm actually excited for the Diary of the Wimpy Kid franchise. I was a Wimpy Kid, so I grew up reading the Diary of the Wimpy Kid. I had like 3 of the books growing up. It's funny. It's a very zany and witty novel series that is very easily digestible for kids. I do look forward to seeing the animated feature that's coming on in 2021 on an unspecified month. But I see a screenshot here that it's winter, so I can only assume that this is coming in 2021 of December.
Probably. There's only one notable, one last thing in this big list of Disney stuff that I want to talk about, and that's it's a new Marvel thing, and it's their What If. So this supposedly What If series, which apparently is going to be like alternate histories and dimensions of like, what if fucking Captain America was it was that one girl, I forget her name, from Captain America, or if Black Panther was fucking Star-Lord.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the trailer. The trailer has some interesting stuff. Are you fucking...
Oh, Marvel What If is that's a comic book series that they have.
I assumed.
I've read some of those. I look forward to that. I didn't see that at the bottom there.
Yeah.
No, I do look forward to that. But there's some stuff up here that I wanted to talk about too.
Oh, really? I did see the Star
Barry
Wars
Jenkins.
Oh, sorry.
Has an upcoming prequel to The Lion King, which is the live action one, and a remake of The Little Mermaid, which is live action. Those are. I'm assuming both of those will be live action, but
there's actually a really funny joke that people talking about is like the Lion King live action remake. Can you really call it live action where all the animals are in CGI?
I have no idea. I don't know the qualifications for that. Like I said, 3D isn't really my thing.
I know, but it's supposed to be like realistic.
Sequel coming out.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's 4 new series coming out. There's one for Baymax, which I'm looking forward to because Baymax is really cool.
Yeah, I like Big Hero 6. It was good.
Zootopia Plus, not looking forward to.
It's not
one of the main
Beastar, so I don't care anymore.
So
that too.
It's not very praxis of them. I don't know anything about Tiana, and then there's a Moana.
It's
Moana. Yeah, I figured it was.
I think Moana's fantastic,
but here's the catch. Those all are coming out in 2022 and 2023, so we're idiots for talking about it.
Yeah, ding dong.
All right.
But yeah, there's some interesting stuff on here. You can go look it up because everyone was talking about it for a little bit. But I feel like that there was another big event that we can talk about, and that's of course the fucking.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
There's other cool stuff on here.
There's that new Star Wars series where it's gonna
be segueing me way too quick, Vinnie.
I'm sorry. I'm still learning.
The Star Wars Visions is a series of 10 animated shorts by Japanese anime creators.
Oh wow,
that's cool, and we
I
should be
actually did
talking
not read
about
that for some reason. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. And you're trying to get me to move on from it.
We're gonna get a fucking Star Wars animatrix. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're 10 animated shorts too. So these are not series that are going to get drawn out and bloated like some of these other Star Wars series and movies and etc. that have happened recently.
Yeah.
These are animated shorts. I feel like animated shorts are really cool to do in pre-established universes because you can do all sorts of weird and wacky and cool shit with it.
Yeah, I'm interested in it.
Yeah, I also am interested in Japanese anime creators being more involved in Western media.
Yeah.
And the influences that Japanese anime has had on Western animation media and Western fiction media. Because there's certainly a lot to be said for those influences, especially as we start moving forward into 2020 and the decade that it brings. There's a lot of these sort of anime cross Western type things coming out. That even like anime that come out have been sort of adapting to this like sort of mix of Western and Japanese art medium.
Yeah, I always really like when I always really like anime directors when they're giving a Western property and like they get to put their own style onto it. That's the biggest reason why I like the stuff like Animatrix, because even though Matrix is very anime inspired, like literally I'm pretty sure like all the famous scenes from the series, like the creators were like, yeah, no, we watched anime, it was the coolest shit, so we wanted to do that in real life. So, but it's really cool because Animatrix is just like, we're gonna take that and we're gonna have like, it's gonna be the same universe, but we have different styles and we want to tell different stories within the said universe, and it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. And then there's gonna be a Star Wars Bad Batch. I'm assuming it's about clone troopers.
Yeah,
it's gonna be on Disney Plus, like everything else.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a side series that takes place in I'm assuming the Clone Wars / Rebels series. I can't really say much because I only watch a little bit of Clone Wars and I don't care for Rebels. So I like the art style a lot though. I think mm-hmm. I think it's really I think it's really stylish. Anyway, the video game award.
Yeah, so the video game awards.
Don't really have anything.
There's a lot here.
The big VGA Awards 2020. This is an interesting year, I guess. Mainly because of course they have to take some precautions because of the pandemic and all that. But also it's because particularly of the winners, or should I say winner of a lot of the awards. But I feel like that we should, before we go into that, we could talk about some of the announcements, which luckily I did watch the majority of the things, so I can remember some of these, not all of them, because some of them were just like like a game of the year or like extended editions of these games.
And some of the things are things that nobody cares about because like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate announcement, I would normally know these things, but I don't care because it's Wi-Fi only right now and they won't fix their netcode.
Well, yeah, I feel like that'll be the first thing that's the first thing we should be able to talk about. But Smash Brothers Ultimate, they announced their third character for their Fighter Pack 2, and it's fucking Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. Which
I didn't even know that. I cared so little.
Wow, really? I'd assume that at least there'll be some people talking about it. You at least would have gotten like a glance of it. But damn, yeah, it was fucking Sephiroth.
Well, that's cool. I like Sephiroth.
Yeah,
Sephiroth is a good pick for that, especially with the Final Fantasy VII remake that came out recently.
Yeah, there's a part of me that's a little upset that it wasn't Gino, but it's still cool.
Mm-hmm. Warhammer 40K Darktide. We need to talk about this. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Warhammer Fantasy has a game series called Vermintide, which is essentially like Left 4 Dead and Warhammer Fantasy. This is Warhammer 40K Vermintide.
Oh, okay.
And it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, okay. Like Warhammer is one of those things where I've seen some stuff about it, and it looks really interesting. I just don't have the time for it. Basically, that's all I can really say. And also, making figures sounds really hard for me because I have shaky hands and all that. But you mentioned that Vermintide was like a Left 4 Dead type of thing. Which, speaking of which, one of these announcements was a game by Warner Brothers called Back 4 Blood. The number 4, not the word 4, and it's just Left 4 Dead. Honestly,
it's just Left 4 Dead.
It's just Left 4 Dead. Like I was almost thought it was Left 4 Dead 3, but then I realized like wait, that doesn't make sense. That team is like gone.
No, it's Left 4 Dead 4.
Wait, what?
Because they're Back 4 Blood.
God damn it. Well, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 had the number 4 in it too. Like,
yeah, they're also Left 4 Dead 4.
God damn it. I don't shit. But yeah.
There's a new Monster Hunter game. Yeah, that's gonna be for the Switch.
Yeah, you're gonna have you're gonna have a fucking acrobat doggo. It's gonna be good.
I love Monster Hunter. Small problem. Small little problem, Nintendo. We need to talk. You need to come over here real quick. If you only release this on Switch, you will make no money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You will make no money. Put it on PC. You put the last Monster Hunter game on PC. Do it again. You'll make so much fucking money.
Well, to be fair, Nintendo they don't own Monster Hunter.
Well, whoever does it, I don't know. It's probably owned by Nintendo through some sort of nefarious means.
I don't know. The Monster Hunter has released a lot of their stuff on Nintendo consoles, like the 3DS and new 3DS and stuff. Yeah. Although usually they're always like later versions of a game, like they release it to another system, and then Nintendo will get it like in a year or two, which is surprising. In Rise.
Put it on PC.
Yeah, you know,
and I'll buy it. If you make it run well, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's also an Untitled Mass Effect game that was announced.
Oh boy. Because that last Mass Effect game was fantastic.
It was amazing. You know it. My
favorite line...
I am not really excited for it either.
Yeah, my favorite line from that game was like, I really pissed that one off, maybe because I shot him in the face. Ooh,
there's a remake of Endless Dungeon.
I don't know what that is.
It's a indie game where it's like a top down action RPG survival wave based exploration game roguelike.
I don't.
It's something else. It's pretty good. It's a roguelike. It has its own sort of thing going for it. There's an Evil Dead game coming out.
I thought it was Dead by Daylight when they announced it. I'm going to be honest, but it's not. So I'm like, oh, okay.
No, it's Evil Dead. It's even better. This is my boomstick.
This is my... Yeah, you know, that's fair, because I love that scene. That movie's great. Armory Darkness is great.
It is.
But speaking of dead shit coming back to life, there was a new announcement of the Callisto Protocol, which is like a horror game set in space, and it looks very similar to Dead Space, but until people found out that game was also directed by the dude who directed the Dead Space games, and people were like, oh, it's just spiritual Dead Space, so that's cool.
It's in the same narrative universe as PlayerUnknown Battleground.
Wait, really?
Which is, I don't know how that works, but wait, okay, what? Buddy. It's in the far future of that setting. It takes place in 2320 at a prison colony called Black Iron, located on Jupiter's moon.
Okay.
Huh?
I didn't That's weird. Okay, I didn't know it was part of Player Unknown Battlegrounds.
Yeah, it's PUBG, but it's survival horror. I don't know.
Because I was about
You
to say,
figure it out.
I was about to say, like, wait, PUBG are still making stuff? I thought they literally died when Fortnite just took it.
We got 2 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. It comes out in 2022. Getting on to video game awards.
Ooh.
You don't mind?
Yeah, no, that's fine. There's not really anything in the announcements that I particularly am really interested, you know. But fucking, we'll get into the actual awards, which will go down the list. Spoiler alert: the game of the year is Last of Us Part 2, to no one's surprise.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
I feel like it could be a lot of other things on here. Doom Eternal was very good. Final Fantasy VII Remake was very good.
I forgot that came out.
I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima.
It's
but
anime.
I hear it's also very good.
Sorry, not anime. It's like Japanese weeaboo as fuck.
I feel like Animal Crossing New Horizons made waves this year, especially with the pandemic.
Yeah. Hades is fantastic. I love Hades so much. It deserved it.
So I would say literally every game on this list probably deserved it more than Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, for sure. Like
if you can if you want.
Like my thing with Last of Us Part 2 was like I don't have any like super hate for the game by all means. My main problem was of course the crunch that a lot of the people who worked on it had to deal with. Which sad. It's with AAA games they have to deal with, like a lot of players have to deal with that shit, and it sucks ass.
I also just generally have a distaste for like ultra violence in video games because like I have like PTSD and shit, and it's just like I get it. It's like cool and edgy to have ultra violence in your games and like etc. But like I don't feel like I don't know. I don't feel like ultraviolence is really a narrative selling point that should let them get awards at the rate that they got, and we'll get into that more, I guess.
Yeah, the only thing I liked from Last of Us Part 2, because I didn't really check out the whole game because I could care less, and if I'm gonna be honest, the gameplay was just kind of like meh. Like, I feel like the style of gameplay is just kind of like meh at this point. But the only thing that I found interesting that someone actually mentioned to me is like, if you really think about it, this is the only AAA game that has a lesbian representation since Ellie is gay. And I'm like, that is the only major big game that has you play as a gay character. And then I got sad. But also, that's cool. But also, you also have to play a game where you horribly have to kill people. So I guess that's a trade away, I guess.
Well, I mean, like, so like.
Oh no, I'm not even saying that as like.
We're gonna talk about Cyberpunk a little bit real quick.
Oh, I didn't know if you want to talk. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it this week or not. But go ahead. All right,
representation. We're gonna have a little lesson on representation real quick.
Go ahead.
As a lesbian and a trans person, I just want to say that there's a difference between good representation and bad representation.
Yep, for sure.
I don't know enough about Last of Us Part 2 to really have like a concise like thesis statement on like, oh, this is bad representation and here's why. I have heard a lot of bad things about Last of Us Part 2. I have heard enough bad things about Last of Us Part 2 that I have avoided it purely out of the fact that I know that I would be uncomfortable playing it.
From people that I know, I'm not saying this as a fact, from the people I know who played it, they thought the game was either meh or they didn't like it. As for the representation, they thought the Ellie and her, I forget the girlfriend's name, they thought it was fine, like the relationship by itself. It just, it kind of sucks that it's in a game that preferably you're horribly killing people and most, hey, go ahead. And I believe there is a trans character in there, and their character is fine, but they don't really delve deep into that character.
Well, there isn't a trans character in there. The problem is
I might be misremembering or something.
Well, if you let me, I'll explain. Some groups of people criticize Abby's muscular physique and
that's dumb.
Made some theories and jokes about her being trans.
What the fuck?
there's some like stuff being said about how this could be like a result of like the lack of body diversity in games, and how like women are often like portrayed as like curvaceous and etc.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the impacts that has. But honestly,
muscular women are cool. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, muscle women are cool. So like I don't know. Last of Us Part 2 just it didn't impact me enough to really care. There's a bunch of crunch behind it, so like a lot of the people who were working on it. Care. Yeah, and like also like the ultra violence part of it too is just like it's boring. I'm sorry, I'm not interested in the ultra violence.
That's a you thing, and that's fine. No one's gonna bash on you for that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying because like that's not even just a me thing. Like the critical response to it was a lot of cases the developers and the publishers were like, yeah, no, like ultra violence, and she's gonna do tons of wacky stuff, and you're gonna like you know it's we're horribly telling you a harsh, gritty story and etc. And it's like, well, that's cool, I guess, but like,
yeah,
if that's your selling points, why are you getting Game of the Year?
I don't mind it as long as it's like done well, and that's not just like it's not like pandering, I guess, to that.
I just don't feel like it's accessible to a wide enough base of people to be given so many awards at the rate that it was given.
Yeah,
because it's a mature title with traumatizing stuff in it, and like that should be kind of taken into glance when we're talking about like giving out awards to things.
I do I like there was a part of me that's like, even with the crunch and all that, like as the game itself, it does look impressive, it does look nice, and I could see like if somebody who didn't know anything behind it, they were like, this is a really like this is a well-made product. But I also don't think that it's game of the year material, to be honest.
Not next to Final Fantasy VII and Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's not.
Yeah, like, no, like it's weird.
Sorry. Like Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons by themselves should be like, I don't know, they should be more of the conversation here. And so anyway, this pattern continues with Best Game Direction going to Last of Us Part 2.
Best Narrative was Last of Us Part 2, which I was really upset about because 13 Sentinels didn't win, and I really wanted 13 Sentinels to win.
I don't know anything about 13 Sentinels,
Good.
But Best Game Direction, Half-Life Alyx was one of the runner-ups, and they didn't give it to Half-Life Alyx. Besides, it doesn't make any sense to me, because Half-Life Alyx is legitimately one of the most innovative VR games that were made ever. I mean, we're on the cups of VR technology, and they really pushed that to its brim, making Half-Life Alyx, and they put a lot of game direction, a lot of thought, and each one of their items being interactable in the same way that the source engine has interactable items.
Yeah,
you know, you can push shit off shelves with your hands, and like things interact with you on a. You know, I think Half-Life Alyx deserved game direction, not only just for their innovation with VR and innovation with their engine, but also innovation with their narrative and being able to make a Half-Life game in modern era without it being disappointing.
Yeah, I was surprised that game even came out. I didn't really check it out as much. I only saw like a couple clips of it, but it looked pretty cool. Like even for a VR game, I can't say much because I'm gonna be honest, Faye, I've only played the first Half-Life, and that's it.
We need to change that.
But yeah, you know, best game direction went to Last of Us. Best narrative went to Last of Us, which I still think is BS because Final Fantasy VII Remake, you could say it's debatable depending on the changes they made in Remake. That's totally up to whoever. Mm-hmm. Hades, I like it a lot, but it doesn't really have like a super like throughout story like narrative. There is one there, but it has to be like adjusted because it's a roguelike, so it isn't like there isn't like building a climax to it, you know.
Best art direction went to Ghost of Tsushima,
which is that's cool.
That's
I can
good.
respect that.
I either wanted it to go to that or to Final Fantasy VII Remake because they worked really hard on Final Fantasy VII Remake, making it authentic but also very appealing to the eyes, and I appreciate that.
Honestly, almost everything except for Last of Us for art direction, I wouldn't have mind one, because I think Hades for me has like the best designs for the Greek gods ever. Like I love every design of them. Ori and Will-O-Wisp, I love that art style as well, and I think that it's really cool looking. Final Fantasy 7 is Final Fantasy 7. Like it's not. I don't even need to even. I don't even.
All of the Hades Greek goddesses are gay, and that's all you need
real.
to know.
Yeah, for real.
Best score in music went to Final Fantasy VII Remake, as it should.
Yeah,
There's any debate there. It would either be that or the Doom Eternal soundtrack, because Doom is notorious for its soundtracks as well. But I personally feel like the score and music in Final Fantasy VII Remake is more cinematic and more sort of artistic, whereas the Doom Eternal soundtrack is very much just like clash bang metal music to kill people
it's
too.
Adrenaline pulsing. Yeah. Like it's music that you really enjoy in the moment, and I don't know, you could listen it out like when you're doing something else.
There's a lot of people who listen to metal outside of Doom.
True,
but I'm just saying that, like, in comparison, I feel like there's a lot more nuance in Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack than the nuance that's in Doom Eternal soundtrack.
Yeah, that's
not necessarily that it's better or worse music, but that the nuance behind that music being in the game is more thought out.
Yeah, I get that. Best audio design went to, of course, Last of Us Part 2.
Which is upsetting because Half-Life Alyx is a VR game and has one of the best sound designs. And like, how do you look at a non-VR game and you're like, oh yes, the sound design of this two-dimensional realm is way better than the sound design of like it's obvious there's surround sound in Last of Us Part 2. Yeah. But the surround sound in Half-Life Alyx is made for a VR environment, and so it takes a lot more gusto, a lot more nuance to pull off. And they did an excellent job at it. So it's just ridiculous that they didn't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
Best audio design to me was it's kind of hard for me to really say. Like because I personally I would have said RE3, but that's also because I'm biased. I can't say much about Half-Life because I have not played Half-Life Alyx, nor have I really seen anything aside from dumb memes. But yeah, that sucks because Last of Us gets to win it again, where it probably should have went to something else. Best performance, sorry, but go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was just saying with Half-Life Alyx, it's like it's Valve.
Yeah.
Like Valve is known for like sound, like Half-Life has so much sound design in it.
Yeah.
Portal has so much sound design in it to where it's like, if you listen to like the tiniest details of Valve soundtracks, sometimes you find things out about the game world that you there's stuff in like Half-Life that people are finding out just recently, like just like radio frequencies and stuff that are like, people are finding out that like radio static was actually like encrypted like game lore.
I love stuff like that where like it's like a game you played for years and then you find out something new about it that like most people didn't know about. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and so Valve does stuff like that all the time, and there's tons of secrets in Half-Life Alyx that are probably still hidden within the sound design that it deserves some sort of recognition for.
Yeah. Next up was best performance with Laura Bailey as Abby in Last of Us Part 2. I don't feel particularly upset about this because I think Laura Bailey's a good voice actor. So
if it didn't go to her, it should have gone to Miles Morales' voice actor.
Oh yeah, for sure. He did great as Miles. For sure. Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, we're back. We had a little interruption. But Daisuke to Tsuji? I'm bad at pronouncing like foreign names.
I don't. He was not even gonna try.
He was. Sorry to any Japanese listeners, I guess, but he played Jin, who was the main character in Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. I think he did a pretty good job because I did listen to that game in Japanese because it's the fucking biggest Japanese weeb game ever. You bet I'm gonna listen to Japanese. But Logan Cunningham as Hades, he's great as Hades. Like, holy crap, he's really good. But aside from that, I can't say much about best performance. Good for Laura Bailey. She also had to deal with some bullshit with the Last of Us 2 stuff happening because people were upset.
Yeah, with bigoted people calling her body manly and being dicks.
Those people are not only assholes but cowards, honestly.
Yeah, they are cowards.
Yeah.
Games for Impact, I don't know anything about.
I only know a little bit about If Found, and If Found was pretty good. I can't say anything else. It should have won, I guess, but whatever.
Good talk.
Yeah. Best ongoing was No Man's Sky.
One Man's Lie.
To be fair, they've been like improving that game apparently for the past couple like years.
Okay, but hear me out.
Go ahead.
Should have went to Fortnite.
And we're back. Sorry, another interruption. But yeah, I think I want to say you're right. Honestly.
Well, here's why. Here's why.
Go ahead.
Fortnite isn't just a game. It's not just a meme. It's not just a lifestyle even. It's a culture.
Yeah.
Fortnite is something beyond what Fortnite was. Epic Games can't control the influence Fortnite has.
Yeah.
It literally has turned into I haven't even played that much Fortnite. I am exposed to Fortnite memes every day.
Yeah.
There is not a single day that goes by that I am not exposed to some sort of Fortnite meme or Fortnite reference or Fortnite pop culture, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That I'm always exposed to Fortnite. If that's not like I don't know, like, Call of Duty Warzone was underwhelming. Destiny 2's expansion, underwhelming. Apex Legends, I didn't even know the servers were still alive. No Man's Sky, though. No Man's Sky and Fortnite, like, if it comes down to those two, it's like I don't know. I don't remember Fortnite coming out and being a disappointment for 3 years before it was worth anything.
True, but to be fair, it came out for like a year or two and no one even knew it existed. What you say is still fair though.
Fortnite is a sensation.
I still gotta give credit to the people at No Man's Sky to be like, no, we're not gonna just end up as a disappointing like nothing game. We're gonna at least make it into an actual game.
Here's my punchline. Here's my last point about Fortnite being deserving of best ongoing.
Yeah.
You can go to your local convenience store and you can pop the Orange Justice, do a little bit of do the whip, a little bit of nay, whatever you want to do. And you can look at the cashier and you can go, Fortnite. And he will know what you mean.
You know what?
So,
I don't like this. Let's go to the next category.
No, I'm saying Fortnite is like, normies know what Fortnite is.
Yeah.
You can go to a high school and look to the popular kids and do Orange Justice and be like, Fortnite, and they know what you're talking about. And I mean, Drake played Fortnite. And Fortnite has a Drake feature. Like, what the fuck?
Fortnite has Marvel. It has Thanos.
I know it's not like early 2000s rap anymore.
Yeah.
Like where Drake feature makes your entire career, but Fortnite has a Drake feature. Like the Marvel's in Fortnite, Thanos is in Fortnite, Burger King's in Fortnite.
One of the things announced at the Video Game Awards is fucking Master Chief is in there, and
Master Chief is in Fortnite,
and also Kratos is in there, but they didn't announce it for some reason. It was weird.
Yeah, you know how much stuff's in Fortnite, dude?
Too much.
Barney's in Fortnite.
Fucking Walking Dead is in Fortnite, and no one cares about Walking Dead.
And so Fortnite is by far the biggest, just like absolute overshadowing void of game culture that for some reason has grown so powerful. It has grown beyond the gaming community, beyond the internet, and has consumed reality, and it has made the normies accept that video gaming is a thing that impacts them, and now they want in on it too. They want to Orange Justice with us too,
of all things I was expecting on this episode of the podcast, I wasn't expecting this deep discussion about Fortnite.
I'm a Fortnite stan. I'm posting the Fortnite fan cams on my Twitter right now.
if you do that, I'm gonna have to retweet him just for context. But that's cool. It didn't win though. No Man's Sky did. So let's go on to best indie. Best indie, of course, with the Hades. Hades is fantastic. Go play it. I think Supergiant makes amazing games like Transistors and Bastion. I almost forgot about it. It's been a long time since I played Bastion. I haven't played it since back it was on the fucking Xbox 360 arcade. Xbox Live Arcade. Whoops. Sorry. Yeah. Best mobile game. Who the fuck cares? It was Among Us. Like, come on.
Hey, have you been on YouTube lately?
Yeah.
Among Us is everywhere.
Yeah. No. To be fair, I do play Among Us. It's just like I mean in the way of like, of course it won. Everyone's playing.
I've never played Among Us.
Oh really?
I have played Genshin Impact though.
Of course,
and Genshin Impact slap.
Yeah, it does. I just don't like playing gacha games. That's all.
Well, I get that. I don't like playing games that give me crippling addictions either.
Yeah.
But Genshin Impact is very.
For me, not you.
The Genshin Impact is very impressive for a mobile game. If you can run that on a phone, man, that's amazing.
I think for a little bit, the phone versions ran a little better than the PS4 versions. I think
wouldn't surprise me. Phones are crazy nowadays.
Yeah, that's fair. Best community support, Fall Guys, which
I don't even know what this award's for.
I think it's just like,
what community are we supporting?
I'm not exactly sure because I feel like there would be like more on here.
Is this like talking about like workshop content, like community content, like
I don't think it's community content because I can't think like Fall Guys doesn't have something like a workshop.
Yeah, but there's community, like I'm not talking about like strictly community content like that. I'm talking like community content like as a broad term, including workshop, but like also like YouTube videos and Twitch streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would think that if that's the case, it would go to Fortnite or Valorant.
Yeah, it's weird. I forgot about this category, if I'm gonna be honest. But
I don't know what it means, but Fall Guys doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Best VR, it doesn't even matter about who got nominated. It was Half-Life Alyx, of course.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
By far.
What was there any question? Star Wars Squadrons makes you feel like you're in a washing machine. Yeah. Of course it was gonna be Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, of course. Next category is innovation and accessibility. Is that just
I don't know what it means either.
I don't know what the fuck that means. Is it like how accessible it is? I guess because you can get anything anywhere. Honestly, I'm just disappointed that Watch Dogs Legion is on there. Like, who the fuck thought that?
That game is the least accessible because it doesn't run.
Yeah, and it's made by people who just learned how to program.
The best
action.
80s.
Sorry, go ahead.
The best action game was Hades,
which was surprising actually.
It's an indie game, and it beat out Doom Eternal and Half-Life Alyx.
With Half-Life, it might have been a little bit debatable because it's VR, and some people don't really like that.
Well, I mean, I would say that Half-Life Alyx isn't really the best action game.
Yeah.
It's definitely more like narrative driven. There's a lot of action in it.
Yeah.
But like it, I could see it being beat out by Doom Eternal pretty easily. But Doom Eternal getting beat out by Hades?
That was what? That's like, I really like Hades, but that really actually caught me off guard because like Doom Eternal's fucking tight. Like Modern Doom is really good. And Streets of Rage 4, as much as but Streets of Rage 4 is also great, but there was no way it was gonna win. Sadly, yeah, no, it's really good.
I don't know anything about it.
It's fantastic. It looks amazing. It plays amazing. You can do fucking infinites in there. It's good.
Oh, that's raw.
Yeah.
Best action adventure is Last of Us 2 Part 2.
Yeah.
No surprise there. It beat out Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Ghost
kind of upsetting.
It beat that. Assassin's Creed Valhalla more like Assassin's Creed. I don't really care about
more like
Assassin's
Assassin's. What? You're still a series?
The only thing I saw from Valhalla was there was big cats because the Nordic people had really big cats because they kept feeding big shit, and that's it. There was also
best role playing.
It's FF7 remake.
FF7 remake.
Like, you know, I like Persona 5. You know, I like Yakuza Like a Dragon. I think Genshin Impact is fun to play, but it was gonna go to the 7 remake. Like, like 7. Like, come on.
I mean, like, out of those games, what's most appealing to a normie?
Yeah, fucking that game that literally everyone has been talking about for like a decade.
Yeah, like even the normies know what Final Fantasy VII is.
Yeah. Like,
because their dad played Final Fantasy.
Yeah, straight up. Like, there was tons of people that I've listened to a lot of stuff, but there was tons of people being like, you know, I'm not really into gaming anymore, but I might need to get a PS4 because for that Final Fantasy.
Because 7. I played that when I was a kid. I played that when I was a
fetus. It was
fucking
rad.
And I looked at Tifa's triangle boobs and I was like, yeah.
Yeah. That's was the pinnacle. Shit. That was the pinnacle. Listen.
Tifa's triangle boobs turned me gay.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up is Best Fighting Game, which sadly, it unsurprisingly went to MK11, which is fair.
It should have went to Grand Blue Fantasy Versus.
It didn't really get that much support, honestly. A lot of people forgot about Grand Blue Fantasy Versus.
As people always forget about very technical 2D fighting games.
Yeah, and I knew it was gonna win, but I really wanted Under Night and Birth to win, but of course not.
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus has more technicality and more nuance to it than Mortal Kombat 11 had at its most at the peak of ingenuity that they had in that development studio.
I'll give credit
when they were looking around that studio and they were like, what can we put in this game to make it more technical? And they were throwing shit out the wall and like everything was out there and they weren't cutting anything yet.
And then
it still wasn't as technical as Grand Blue.
And then they had the problem of like for tournament play, you can only use the certain things. You couldn't really fully customize with your character because, you know, it would be unfair. But they actually changed that recently, like just a couple of months ago when they announced their new characters. And they were like, hey, we're going to change up the tournament scene. There's still going to be certain moves that you just can't have. Like Terminator has a fucking move where he just becomes just super armor for like a minute. So, you know, just nothing super broken. But yeah, no, it sucks that it didn't go to Grand Blue because I really like Grand Blue. It just sucks that everyone kind of forgot about it.
Best family game, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, easy.
There was a Paper Mario game that came out this year. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the only thing I know about that is apparently the final boss is a character saying, "Man, why does Paper Mario suck now?" And everyone was like, "Fuck off," because Paper Mario sucks now. But, Best Sim was a Microsoft Flight Simulator,
which is upsetting because Crusader Kings 3 is apparently like Paradox's Interactive's baby, but you know, I don't, those military sim guys they're kind of weird, man. Those Crusader King 4 times strategy game people, they're kind of weird. So they probably scared them off from the Flight Simulator. I hear the Flight Simulator I got released this year is actually pretty in depth. And pretty cool, so I can't be too mad at that.
Best sports racing game was
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2
for sure.
It's re-release, of course it is.
Easy,
best games to ever exist.
It's the best game that no one can ever stream because of the licensed music.
Yeah, and all the licensed music, and if you turn it off, all you hear is skate noises.
Yeah, and it's super creepy. I hate it.
I love it. I want more of it. And there needs to be more skateboarding games.
I can't play a Tony Hawk Pro Skater with no music. It's wrong. It feels terrible to me.
Best multiplayer was Among Us. You should have saw that coming.
Yeah, no, easy. Major congrats to that team too for a game that they released 2 years ago. No one played, and then 2 years later, it's the biggest thing now.
Yeah.
Congrats to those guys.
PewDiePie.
No, it wasn't PewDiePie. It was both because people got mixed up with Fall Guys, so they were like, whatever, let's play this, and it was also because of big YouTubers like Alpharad and stuff.
Oh well.
You can think that means
a big YouTuber, so
yeah,
that's kind of what I was getting at. YouTube algorithm, kids who are 5 years old who like watching people play an easy, simplistic game that makes them yell at each other.
Yeah.
It's a formula. It's Fortnite 2.0 on your phone.
Among Us has brought out emotions in me that I didn't want coming out. So yeah. Best debut game.
I think it should have gone to Valorant. Personally,
I forgot it came out. Not gonna lie.
Because Valorant is a really, really good tactical first-person shooter.
Isn't it like CS:GO?
It's so good, in fact. Yeah, it is. But it's so good, in fact, that it actually made CS:GO. It made Valve update CS:GO so that it wouldn't get outperformed by Valorant. But that's how good it is.
Wow. To be fair, I forgot CS:GO even existed too, because of Valorant.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see? There you go. Should have won.
Yeah. Best debut game was Phasmophobia.
That's good. I don't know any of the other games on that list. So
I know Carrion, but that's about it.
Content creator of the year was Valkyrae. She deserves it. She's kind of a offline TV person, not really from offline TV, but offline TV coordinates a lot with her. Mm-hmm. So she's like kind of from that sort of area of content creation. She's actually a really good content creator. I don't have a lot to complain about her. I think she's a genuine person, and I think that she's doing the brand stuff right. I haven't had any complaints about her. She's not like bigoted or anything like that, or like has a podcast that nobody listens to where she says bigoted things that nobody actually holds them accountable for because it's on their podcast that nobody listens to. Critical.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought you were talking about my podcast. I'm like, wait, what?
No, I'm talking about Critical. He's on a podcast where he says some problematic things. There's all sorts of YouTubers that do stuff like that though. Valkyrae seems like a really good content creator though, and she deserved it because I don't know any of these other people.
To be honest, I don't know any of these people, and I didn't really care that much.
I know Tim the Tap Man, but he's had his gamer moments in the past.
Oh no.
So he should step aside. A strong female content creator getting content creator of the year.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, you go, cool. Girl. Most anticipated game is From Software's next release, Elden Ring.
That's fair for me, honestly. I'm anticipating anything Resident Evil, and Breath of the Wild 2 looks cool, and all that. But Elden Ring's the most interesting, not only because it's a new From Software game, but it's one with the help of fucking well, I was about to call him Tolkien, but he's not. He's dead. I meant fucking Martin. There you go. His full name.
I love how 2 of the games on the most anticipated game list don't even have titles yet. They're just God of War sequel, Breath of the Wild sequel.
Well, yeah. Player's voice was a Ghost of Sue.
Ghost of Sue.
My list is killing me. Ghost of but that game. That I don't know what player's voice means fully.
It should have gone to it means like the voice acting for the main character. It should have gone to Doom Eternal because that's like a classic for player voice. Or it should have gone to Miles Morales. That's the point. Doom Eternal's like the Doom main character, Doom guy has a very
he does release. Yeah, no, he doesn't need to say much. That's fair. Esports. We're going to esports real quick.
And best esports game. I'm just gonna run through this list real quick if I can.
Go ahead.
Because we're already pressing on time.
Yeah. We're
and I know stuff about esports, so I'll just like riddle stuff off and we can get it over with real quick.
Yeah.
Best esports game was League of Legends. It beat out Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Fortnite, and Valorant. This was kind of to be expected. League of Legends still has the biggest world championships. Yeah. It's still going pretty strong, has new seasons, new content constantly. Whereas like Modern Warfare, it's like, Call of Duty has the esports scene, but it's like not really that impressive anymore. Counter-Strike Global Offensive has an esports team, but it's not that impressive anymore. Valorant has an esports scene, but it's kind of competing with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I don't see Dota on here. And I think a big reason why we don't see Dota on here is because Dota has became like kind of like this intimidating like thing that like
people just
Eastern European and like Russian people play at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and they like scream at you, and you can hear them throwing beer bottles in the background. Whenever you miss CS or you don't like deny CS. I don't know. Dota has certainly kind of like worked its way out of the esports scene. I think that's interesting.
It's like the opposite of Fightcade, where it's a place where a lot of people play retro fighting games and all that. It's the opposite where
I played on Fightcade before.
Okay. It's the opposite where like you go into like a random game on Fightcade, and there's always those like group of people who are always playing there all the time, and then when they see someone new, they're like, oh, it's new meat. I gotta beat their ass.
Yeah, I gotta beat their ass like 50 times and hit them in an infinite combo for like 3 rounds straight. Yeah, so best esports athlete is Showmaker from Dawn Gaming. It's a League of Legends team. They did really good at the League of Legends World Championship. This is kind of to be expected. He's a really like upstart, new kind of like League of Legends front man for this team, and he did a really good job at the World Tournament. Makes a lot of sense. I don't really know a whole lot of the other ones on this list for best esports athletes, so I'm just going to move on. Best esports team is G2 Esports. They beat out Dawn Gaming, Dallas Empire, San Francisco Shock, and Team Secret. Team Secret's Dota 2, Shock is Overwatch League, and then Dallas Empire is Call of Duty League. I think having a League of Legends esport team be here is pretty good. G2 Esports, from what I understand, I think they won the 2020 World Championship. I'm not exactly sure.
Don't know.
Let me just check that real quick.
For the viewers.
Finals. Yeah, Dawn Gaming won. Never mind. Yeah. So I think Dawn Gaming probably should have gotten best esports team if it was between another League of Legends team and them, because they won. So best esports coach was Sonic from Astralis Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Astralis has been really strong in Counter-Strike Global Offensive for a while now. I think they deserve some sort of recognition for that, so I'm not really too upset at this. And I don't really recognize any of the other people on this list.
Yeah.
Best esports event was the 2020 League of Legends World Championship, which is completely understandable because beside the fact that there was a pandemic going on, they still held the championship at full going, because they had each team quarantine and had them separate from people who were there for event reasons.
Oh, okay.
It was a very well done event. They had a lot of precautions and a lot of nuance in the way that they approach the situation and its uniqueness being in a pandemic year.
If only there was an event that also came out that, that was online. It was really cool. It had fighting games and all that.
Yeah, that
wasn't ran by assholes.
Yeah, I just can't think, what kind of game would harness that much potential and have that big of a dedicated community around it that would be streamed and have thousands of people watch it.
Yeah. If they did, I feel like they could just smash the records,
Yeah.
But anyway, best esports host.
Yeah, best esports host. I don't know anybody on this. list.
Yeah, no,
I'm not impressed.
Yeah, no. For anyone who may be wondering why I was staying silent for that entire thing, if it ain't fighting games, then I don't give a shit.
If it's not fighting games, Vinnie doesn't care.
Yeah, it really I think esports are cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just it isn't fighting game related that I don't care. But yeah, that's all we really have to say for the VGA Awards. It was there. It was alright. They got some cool stuff announced like Sephiroth and all that, but aside from that, there was some games that got some awards, but most of it was Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about real quick. Last of Us Part 2 was nominated 11 times.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
The most
got
any other
7
game.
Awards.
Yeah, the most any other game got in the terms of multiple awards was 2.
Yeah.
But before, this is going to be the end because that's all we really have to say. So, but before we go, we do got questions, and we only got one question.
Oh.
This comes from Toblerone Jones, of course, as we know as Austin.
Oh.
After he complained that he wouldn't be peer pressured into eating peanut butter cheese sandwiches, which, I'm still gonna judge you, Austin. But he asks, who's the best anime girl?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I'm polyamorous.
Yeah, who would you?
All of them.
Who would you say is probably like? Yeah, you know. I was about to say like, who would you say is like your favorite? By all means.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a hard one. Like I can't just like tell you like any specific girl. Especially since like a lot of anime girls aren't gay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and then like also when you're talking about anime girls, you come into this problem of like, a lot of animes take place in high school, so it's like you don't really want to be like, oh yeah, she's super cute, has a great personality, and then like somebody's asking this question for a completely different reason,
and then you're just like, knocking
at
your door.
Oh. And you're just like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. I meant she was the like best girl. I'm not. And you.
Yeah, no, I do that. I do that a lot. Sadly, and I'm like, oh man, they're great. I love them. But then people are like, I'm like, no, Jesus Christ, no.
No, please.
I just think they're all right. That's cool. I'm not into that.
I don't know. Winry.
Oh,
that's a safe answer.
Yeah. Well, for me, if it was Full Metal, I would say Hawkeye, but that's fair too, honestly.
I mean, Hawkeye's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, not all of us can be wrong, but you know, that's all right.
You know, like Mustang. If Mustang was a girl.
Yo, yeah, actually, yeah.
You know, I don't. You know, who knows? There's so much potential.
I'll give my answer.
Female Alucard.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But for me, I don't know. I don't really have a definitive favorite. I guess I could say like a recent favorite. It's Noi from Dorohedoro. That's because she is a giant muscle girl, and that's cool.
Oh, there's a girl from the anime with the scissor blades. What's it called?
Kill la Kill.
Yeah, there's a girl from Kill la Kill. I've never watched Kill la Kill, but there's a girl from Kill la Kill that I really like.
That's surprising, actually.
And she's it's a super gay anime.
Oh, is it short-haired brown-haired girl?
No. Damn. No, it's the pink-haired girl who's super smug, and I want her to step on me.
Yeah, I forget her name. It's been a long time. But
and if she's underage, so I take back the step on me part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but yeah, she's cute. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of best girls. I'm not that picky.
Yeah, that's fair. I gave an answer. There's a lot of characters I would like, but but I don't really have anything to say. But anyway, thank you for the question. That'll be the end of this episode. Hope you guys had a wonderful time listening. With our in-depth Fortnite discussions.
Yeah, that was like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
something like that.
According, just about an hour and a half. It was only an hour 20.
Gave you guys the learning on Fortnite culture. But you can catch me on social media at twitter.com/FayeExclaim and twitter.com/FayeExclaimTV. You can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/FayeExclamed. And you can
of course
let us out now.
For me, of course, you can go check out my channel down in beneath whatever. I'll put links at the bottom. And of course, if you want to get updates on the podcast or any other projects that I'm working on, you can go check out at PK Speed. But aside from that, it's gonna be
smash that motherfucking like button.
Yeah, every good YouTuber's gonna be like, smash the motherfucking like button, subscribe, ring the bell, fucking sacrifice a baby, go for it. But anyway, we hope that you had a good time, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of Midnight Toons. Goodbye.